We're back. Tonight, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama doing last-minute campaigning in Wisconsin before tomorrow's big primary there. It is a tight race, and when it gets close, it also tends to get ugly, with each making accusations and, in some cases, slinging mud. We're on their trail again tonight, assessing the top misstatements, blunders, and cheap shots. But first, we've just gotten in an exclusive interview that Matt Lauer just did with Obama to air tomorrow on the Today Show, where Obama talks about the attacks from the Clintons.
Have you stopped to think about what the Obama version of swift voting might be in this campaign cycle if you get to the general election? What they did to John Kerry, right. What's that version going to be with Barack Obama?
Oh, I think we can already anticipate because we've already seen it. First of all, I've had to go up against the Clinton machine, and it's not as if they're playing tiddlywinks, right? I mean, every day they've got a press conference accusing me of this or that or the other. So, you know, we've been battle tested during the course of this primary, but we've also seen these scurrilous emails that are going out suggesting that I'm a Muslim and that I don't pledge allegiance to the flag, and so I think there will probably be some of that. That may not come explicitly from the Republican National Committee, but I think that we'll probably see some of that stuff underground.
All right, so we're tonight going to go back on their trail, assess who is right in Clinton versus Obama. Joining us to separate fact from fiction, Rachel Maddow, host of The Rachel Maddow Show on Air America. And back with us is Lawrence O'Donnell and Michelle Cottle. Starting off at number 7, the Clinton campaign saying Obama is now flip-flopping on whether he would take public money in the general election. Here's what Obama said Friday.
It would be presumptuous of me to start saying now that I'm locking myself into something when I don't even know if the other side is going to agree to it, and I'm not the nominee yet.
All right, but Camp Clinton, pointing to a 2007 questionnaire where Obama was asked if he supports public financing for the presidential race, Obama said, yes, if I am the Democratic nominee, I will aggressively pursue an agreement with the Republican nominee to preserve a publicly financed general election. The Clinton camp, following up with this email to reporters, tough to see how Senator Obama is going to have credibility to talk about change you can believe in when he's breaking pledges. All right. I'm going to say that this is a fair attack since Obama was unequivocal in his stance in 2007. But it's also a bit of a blunder for Clinton because she hasn't yet committed to these spending limits either. So, Rachel Maddow, was this worth it for the Clinton campaign to go after Obama on this?
No, I don't think it was. I think advantage Obama on this one. First of all, he only said he would pursue an agreement with the Republican nominee. Second of all, as you note, Clinton hasn't signed on to any pledge like this. And third of all, Clinton ought to avoid being high and mighty on campaign finance issues when she's the one who's proudly defending taking lobbyist money, for example. I think this wasn't a good attack on their part.
What do you think?
The nominees never make this deal. What's going to be really funny is when John McCain refuses to make this deal, having authored the law that gives us these kinds of deals.
Yeah, and the other thing is $85 million or something in public finance. Will they even have enough time to spend this by the time the general election comes around? Coming in at number 6 tonight, Bill Clinton playing the victim card in a speech while campaigning in eastern Texas. He tried to slam an Obama comment by suggesting tough politics, not lack of voter support, is what eliminated 4 of the Democratic nominees for president. Quote, it has already taken 4 candidates out, 4 good candidates out. And it would have taken Hillary out if she didn't have so much grassroots support and so much guts in the face of a lot of what has happened here. I'm calling this one a cheap shot. Taking them out because he believes Obama understated the battles of the 90s? That explains why 4 candidates are out of the race? Is he suggesting, Michelle Cottle, that Obama is responsible for that?
Yes, I think it is absolutely Obama's fault that Chris Dodd has had to drop out of the race. I'm just not sure how we can come to any other conclusion. I mean, he's grasping at straws here. He's basically mad because Obama has taken the message that Bill had in '92 and run with it. He's a candidate of change. He's fresh, he's new, he's exciting, and harking back to the battles of the 90s, this is kind of what it means to be Hillary. You're the candidate of experience.
If experience mattered on the Democratic side, the ticket would be Joe Biden and Chris Dodd. I'm not sure in which order, but that's what the ticket would be. So experience doesn't matter, and Clinton is trying to get experience to matter only if it's about a few more years than Obama has. That's what matters. Nothing else matters.
But I mean, again, this is just, it seems to me, Rachel, that the notion that he's suggesting that 4 of the candidates are out for any other reason other than the fact that they did not have a lot of support out there is kind of humorous.
It is. It's actually weird. Like, that's the weird part of it. Though the other thing this reminds me of, though, is that remember back in 1995 when Bill Clinton had to assert that the president was still relevant, and everybody was like, man, there's nothing that proves your irrelevance like having to argue for it. That's exactly what this felt like to me. You know what? If you think that your victories in the 90s were important, you shouldn't have to be making that case right now.
All right, so far the Clinton camp not doing well in our count of the misstatements, cheap shots, and blunders. We continue at number 5 tonight, an Obama health care ad. Last week we ruled this to contain a misstatement, and tonight there's new information to back up what we said.
On health care, even Bill Clinton's own labor secretary says Obama covers more people than Hillary and does more to cut costs, saving $2,500 for the typical family.
This one a misstatement. Clinton Labor Secretary Robert Reich does support the Obama health care plan. He has blogged in support of it, but Reich has not stated, as the ad suggests, that it saves the typical family $2,500. Now, some of our viewers wrote in pointing out that the lower section of the screen attributes those facts to Obama's website, but I still rule this one to be misleading. Michelle, this to me is the classic misleading campaign ad where they put in two thoughts. One of them is, in fact, what happened. The other is the campaign's additional thoughts.
Oh, my God, Dan, you are not suggesting that a political ad is going to be anything other than, like, straight down the line
but
accurate.
We're going to call them on it.
Come on here.
We're going to call them on it every night on this program.
Well, that's what you need to do then.
Every political ad the Democrats run, any Democrat runs on health care, will be a fraud. They're not going to enact these plans. They both talk about them as if these plans already exist. They're not going to be enacted. Congress isn't going to pass
We got a good one on health care coming up. But in the meantime, let's move on to number 4. An Obama ad hitting Hillary Clinton on Social Security.
Obama has a plan to protect Social Security benefits and the current retirement age. Hillary doesn't.
I'm going to rule this one accurate and a fair attack because Obama has an actual plan for Social Security, while Clinton hasn't given specifics. Obama says he'll lift the cap for Social Security tax above the current level of the first $97,500 worth of income. Clinton has repeatedly avoided taking a position, instead offering to return to fiscal responsibility and to convene a bipartisan commission. I don't know, Rachel, it doesn't seem to me that that's exactly a plan. I think it's a fair attack by Obama.
I think this one is a draw. I don't think either one of them wins on this one, because what Obama is responding to here is an attack ad from Hillary Clinton saying Obama is going to decimate Social Security and not take care of the retirement age and eligibility for benefits. Essentially what they're fighting here is who has a position versus who has a plan. Neither of them are going to take the position or make a plan to decimate Social Security. They're fighting about semantics here.
Well, but Lawrence, doesn't Obama just get a little bit of credit for taking at least a little bit of a position?
He does, but this is a hypothetical territory. You know, Hillary says she wants to have a commission. President Bush had a bipartisan commission. It legislated nothing.
The idea that the answer is I'm going to appoint a bipartisan commission is a non-answer.
I can tell you, I used to run the committee that this legislation has to go through. Nothing's going to happen. Neither one of them are going to achieve anything in Social Security reform in the first 4 years of their presidency. So Obama's is slightly more accurate in a zone where the whole discussion is false.
Right,
but
so
Lawrence, you're like the wet blanket. You're like, they can't find out what they want to do because
they will not pass the health care plan.
Right,
it's the same committee.
We got health care. So right now we're ruling it's about 2-2 on the demerits. This is the kind of thing where you do not want to have a score. The higher your score, the worse you're doing on our scorecard. All right? So in at number 3 of our top misstatements, blunders, and cheap shots, the Clinton camp continuing to go after Obama's health care plan, Lawrence. This time sending out a mailer depicting a group of average Americans with the ominous headline, "Which of these people don't deserve health care?" It ends with the phrase, "Will it be you?" This is a cheap shot scare tactic, in my view, because under Obama's plan, in theory, anyone who wants it can get it, so it won't be you if you want it. Clinton's plan forces everyone to get it. Obama's does not. Rachel, it seems to me this is really one of those cheap shot scare tactics.
Yeah, as if Barack Obama is some mean HMO who's going to be cutting off undeserving Americans from health care. This is ridiculous. I mean, the reason that Hillary Clinton should not be in this territory is because if she wants to keep pushing Obama on this, ultimately she's going to have to say that very politically unattractive word to explain what makes her different, which is the word mandate.
But Michelle, this is one of the few issues where there is a definable difference between them, so attacks are fair. But the idea that, will it be you, if you're watching this ad and you're paying attention to the campaign, it's probably not going to be you.
Well, I mean, come on. This is a woman who remembers Harry and Louise. She knows how to play hardball. She's had it played against her, and you can say that, well, maybe that should make her more sensitive, but it also makes her kind of probably ticks her off and makes her more determined to take back this issue, which she totally sees as hers.
All right. So right now, going into break, Clinton has 3 demerits. Obama has 2.